Looking at our world from a theological perspective. This is the Theology Central Podcast, making theology central.
Good morning, everyone. It is Saturday, November the 27th, 2021. Almost forgot the year. Good morning, everyone. It is Saturday, November the 27th, 2021. It is currently 9:29 a.m. Central Time. And you know all the rest. You know that I'm coming to you live from the empty sanctuary of Victory Baptist Church, located right here in Ovalo, Texas. And part of the reason I almost messed up the year is I've been doing a lot of thinking about 2022. I've been doing a lot of thinking about this coming year. What do I want to do different? How can I improve the podcast? What can I change? Just doing a lot of thinking, a lot of talking as well, talking to myself, a lot of thinking and talking to myself about the coming year, about different things I want to try. What can I do to help myself grow better spiritually? Just a lot of different things like that. So that's why I messed up the year. And as I'm thinking about 2022, one of the things that I've definitely been thinking about, and we've already put into action, is we are moving, we are adding, I think that's a better way of putting it. We are adding another platform for our live broadcast. And I want to take a few minutes to tell you about it, to invite you to be a part of it. And hopefully we can accomplish something with it. There's a lot we're trying to do here. So we've already talked about this once, but I wanted to make sure I just do a dedicated podcast to this. As you know, obviously here on Spreaker. Now, for those who listen on other platforms and you don't listen to us live, you probably don't even understand this because you just go to your podcast app and go, oh, there's a new episode of Theology Central. Let me listen. All of the episodes are done live. Now, you've probably figured that out because none of the mistakes are edited out. Everything is just what you hear what you get is what happened. It's real. There's nothing edited. It's nothing manipulated to try to make myself sound any better than I sound. Whatever you get is whatever you get. So all of the broadcasts are done live. There's no safety net. There's no editing. And as soon as the live broadcast is done, then it's sent out to all of the different podcast apps. But we do our live broadcast on the Spreaker app. That's Spreaker, Spreaker. Our sermons are broadcasted on Spreaker. Our podcasts are done on Spreaker. And we invite you to download the Spreaker app if you've never done so. Again, that's Spreaker, Spreaker. Please download it. And then when you download it, follow Theology Central, VBC. And then you should get notified whenever we go live on the air. We've been on Spreaker now for maybe 2 years. I can't remember. I'd have to look at the date. At least, I think, 2 years. We've done well over, I think we're probably close to 2,000 episodes completely with everything that we've done, maybe even more than that. We've done a lot of work in a short amount of time on Spreaker. Very happy with Spreaker. Never going to get rid of Spreaker, all right? Yes, it is expensive, but we love the platform. I love the software to go live on the air. Everything about Spreaker is awesome. Nothing but praise for it. But there is another platform out there called Podbean, all right? They have an app, the Podbean podcasting app. And one of the interesting things about Podbean is they also have the ability for broadcasters, for creators, for podcasters to also do live broadcast via their app. Now, I knew I had heard that they were doing the live broadcast, never gave it much thought, never paid much attention to it. But then I noticed that some of our Podbean numbers were going up, that more and more people were listening to us on the Podbean app. Not like great numbers, still probably maybe number 8, number 9, maybe even number 10. I mean, way down at the bottom. But anytime I see an app that wasn't showing up on the top 10 show up in our statistics as, oh, wait, people are starting to listen to us on that app, I always start paying attention. I start looking at the app going, okay, what could we do better? How could we improve? And while I was looking around the Podbean app, I noticed that they have, in fact, I'm opening up the Podbean app right now. I noticed that they have a section here called Live. So I clicked on the Live section and I'm like, okay, Live. And they have at the top, all live entertainment religion. I'm like, oh, they have a live section specifically dedicated to religious topics, to religious subjects. Well, I have a theology podcast. Okay, that means we would fit in right there. So then I went and I tapped on the religion tab. I'm tapping on it right now. And I started looking at all of the things that broadcast on Podbean in the religion section. And I started listening. I'm like, wait, what is some of this stuff? A lot of it was just, let's call it theologically questionable to downright like, what in the world did I just hear? And as soon as I realized, I don't know what this is, but this is not the Christianity I teach or the Christianity I believe, that there's some problems here. Well, instead of just going, okay, I know what I'll do. I'll turn on the microphone and I will condemn all of the bad theological teaching on the Podbean app in their live section. No. Instead of just condemning it, I'm like, let's be a part of it. Now, and I know that sounds wrong, but just listen to what I'm saying. Be a part of it, not in joining their bad theology, but trying to bring a better theological perspective, trying to bring a more biblical, historical Christian perspective to the Podbean live section. Now, there is a tendency for some churches that they will just put their content kind of where they're kind of preaching to the choir. Again, now, no, in no way am I condemning sermon audio. I think it's an amazing platform. It's great, very beneficial, and I could do a lot of podcasts about the great things about sermon audio. But in a sense, when you put your sermons on sermon audio, you're preaching to the choir. You're preaching to people who are already most likely inclined to go along with your theological perspective. Because to be on sermon audio, you have to agree to their theological perspective. They basically have a statement of faith. You have to agree to it. And if you don't agree to that, you can't be on sermon audio. That's perfectly fine because it makes it easy when someone's out there trying to find sermons from a certain theological perspective. They can go to sermon audio and not have to worry about it. They can go, okay, I know that these sermons will at least be in line with this doctrinal statement. So there's a place for it. That's a good thing. However, you're still preaching to the choir. What about all the people who don't hold to your theological perspective? What about the people who've never even heard your theological perspective? What about the people who are so, in a sense, confused theologically? Don't you want to reach them? And my perspective is, yes. And here's the way it works. You've got to go to the people. They're not going to just magically come to you. You've got to go to where they are. So I was like, okay, we've got to do better on getting onto Podbean and working on it. So I started looking around on Podbean, going into the account, making sure I could figure everything out, how to do the live broadcast. Okay, how much is that going to cost us? Okay, about $10 a month. That's not too much. So I started, getting everything, signing up, getting everything worked out to the best of my ability. And we've started doing live broadcast on Podbean. So we're going to be doing live broadcasts via the Spreaker app, as usual. And we're also going to be doing some live broadcasting on Podbean. Now, I've done two actual programs on Podbean. We did some tests, but 2 actual programs on discipleship, and we did them on Podbean. Now, a couple of things I've figured out. Number one, I figured out that it's still taking me a little bit to get used to. See, here on Spreaker, if you're listening to me live right now, I have no way of knowing. So in some ways, that's a good thing, right? Because there's no distraction. I don't even know you're there. Unless you type something in the chat, I don't even know you're here. So I have no way of knowing who's listening live right now. Now, once the program is over and they send me my statistics, they will show me how many people were listening live. Now, in some ways, this is a good thing, because there's no distraction. I'm just here talking. I'm here teaching. I'm not even paying attention. And if someone puts something in the chat, then I can look over and respond too. But I'm not seeing like people come into the live, listening to the live broadcast, dropping out, coming in, dropping out, coming in, dropping out, because it's very easy to start looking over going, whoa, wait a minute. Okay, why did they leave? Okay, wait. Oh, someone new's in the channel. Do I acknowledge them? What do I do? So in Podbean, though, it shows the people coming and going. And you're like, oh, wait, do I say welcome? Do I just keep going? Do I just keep teaching? So I'm trying to get used to that distraction. There's a positive there because you do know that people are listening. Like right now here on Spreaker, I don't know if you're there. So sometimes when I'm sitting here teaching and I'm getting 30, 35 minutes, 40 minutes into it, sometimes this feeling is like, man, I'm just sitting here talking to myself in an empty room. And you don't realize that maybe people are actually listening to you live. And it's hard to explain it unless you've ever been sitting in a room in front of a microphone talking for almost an hour. There's just this feeling like, okay, wait, am I even making any sense? Especially when you're used to preaching in front of people, you like that interaction. So that's a bad thing on Spreaker because sometimes you can just start feeling like no one's listening when actually people are. But on Podbean, the good thing is you do see the people are there. But at the same time, that can become distracting because then you're asking yourself, wait, why did they just leave the channel? What did I say? So it's completely different. It's a different approaches to live broadcasting. I'm not saying one is bad and one is better. I'm just saying that they're different and it's going to take me a little bit to get used to. So, but we're trying to be there to be in the midst of all of this other, I don't know what you call all of this other stuff. We're trying to be in the midst of it. Because why just say, look, over there, that's all the bad stuff. No, if they allow me to be right there in the middle of them, then while all of their craziness is going on, then there's a little thing that pops up that says Theology Central, and someone comes into that channel and they're like, whoa, that's different than all the other religion channels. And then maybe, just maybe, we can present to them a more biblical, historical, theologically sound Christianity. And so that's what that's one of the reasons we're on Podbean. That's what we're trying to do. And what's interesting about Podbean is I've been paying close attention to the live feed. And it looks like many of these people, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know if they have like a team of people, but many of these channels on Podbean, they are like on the air live for like hours on end, like hour after hour after hour after hour after hour. And it doesn't seem to be even like actual teaching. It's just kind of like, maybe giving prophetic words, praying, speaking in tongues, just kind of talking. And then when people come in, it's just really, I can't explain it. You just need to go listen to it. Let's just go through some of the channels right now on Podbean, right, that are currently live. Like, here's one. Let's just go to this one.
From Greece, he came, he does not consider the nature of the grounds. But I said, God sent me from Greece to come and minister here. From there, he moved to Nigeria. I think this year too, we have somebody from Nigeria. It's a beginning ministry.
Okay, well, number one, they have music playing in the background, right? This music playing in the background. They sound like that they're using, I don't know, maybe a phone. I don't know. It's like they got music playing in the background in the room, and then they're like talking on the phone. It's really, it's weird. It's very interesting. And they just like go on and on and on and on and on and on. There's no actual teaching. It's just, and they're on the air for like, I don't know, I've seen 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 hours. They may stop just for a minute and then come right back in. In fact, this one just went live. Let's see here. Oh, wait, I just went, oh no, they just moved it down here. Here's this one. Oh, wait, nope, they just ended their live broadcast. Okay, I don't know what's going on there. Okay, hang on. All right. Well, they're showing that it's live. Oh, okay. That's weird. That one's showing that it's live, but it's not. Okay.
Wish I'm close to you, so you use my phone. You use my phone to do it. Let me tap. Miracles will be happening for the person now. The person not going to know where they happen. Yes, boss, will favor you. Your boss will favor you. Your boss will favor you. Yes. God bless you, Chica Lizzie. The only Chica Lizzie. They are using 2 phones, so she followed them. Oh.
It's just, it's so bizarre. It's like this whole world out there. Now, most of these seem to be coming from different countries, but I can't really explain it. It would just be like me turning on the microphone, just, all right. So today, all right, God bless you. And then when you come into the room, God bless you and bless you. And I got a prophetic word for you. And it's just this, it's so strange, but the numbers of people listening are absolutely shocking. Over 3,000 is listening to one of them that are on right now. 17,000. Now, I don't know if that's how many people are currently listening or that's the total of people who've been listening to them, but there's no actual preaching. There's no actual teaching. There's no actual doctrine. There's no actual theology. You can all tell that they're coming from charismatic theological perspectives, but there's no actual anything. It's just strange. So while that's going on, I'm like, we've got to be in the middle of that. We've got to be in the midst of that. Somewhere, somehow, we'll put it this way. And I'm not going in to say, hey, all of these other people you're listening to, blast them. No, I'm going to go in and just try to provide theological discussions, news commentary, biblical teaching, and at least be an alternative, right? It's not like I'm going in there to declare war. It's like I'm going in to say, hey, you can listen to all of that other stuff, but when they click on my channel, whenever I'm live, hopefully they will hear something like, whoa, that's completely different than everything else on here. Yes, there's a whole different theological stream here within Christianity that is different than all of that. It is just, all I can tell you, download the Podbean app, go to the live section, click on the religion section, and I'm telling you, just sit there for an hour just going from live stream to live stream, and you tell me what you think, right? We've already had one person try it, and their response was, what in the world did I just hear? And I'm like, exactly. I can't explain it to you until you try it out. I was listening to some of it on the way here this morning, and I was just like, what in the world is this? I can't even really put it into words. It's just so out there. And I just don't know how they're just broadcasting for like hour after hour after hour after hour. But the people are pouring into the channels. The people are pouring in. They're getting financial support. I don't know what they're doing. Like, I can't even put my finger on it. So that's why we're there. Again, we could go put our content. Obviously my philosophy is to put our content everywhere, right? Everywhere. Not just find, here's the perfect little theological platform, which we agree with theologically. So let's preach to the choir. Why preach to the choir? Let's go out and get our message everywhere, including places where we're going to be the strange ones. We're going to be the odd one out. We're going to be the weird ones. We're going to be the ones that know that probably it's going to be very difficult to build an audience on Podbean. It probably is. I don't know if we'll be successful, but at least we're going to do some teaching there. So here's what I ask you to do. It's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Yes, download the Spreaker app, all right? But go ahead and download the Podbean app. Podbean, Podbean. Now, this is where it's going to get a little weird. This is where it's going to get a little complicated. So stay with me. You download the Podbean app. All right? Once you download the Podbean app, go to search. Once you get to search for Theology Central, and you're going to see something really weird. You're going to see 3 Theology Centrals, but they're all me. Now, this is one of the weird things we discovered about a month ago. One of the listeners helped us out. He figured out that, wait, your content's here, but it's actually being pulled from here. It's being pulled from there. And we just figured out that there's a lot. We're all over the internet, but our feed, our RSS feed is being just pulled from all kinds of different sources. So we're on Podbean 3 different times, all coming from different things. Where just RSS feed is being pulled from different sources. So here's what I want you to do. Just follow all 3. Just follow all 3. I know that seems crazy, but just follow all 3, right? And if you follow all three, then this is what should happen. When I go live, you should get a notification that I'm going live. What we want to test, a couple of things we want to test. We want to make sure that whenever I go live, you get the notification. Now, if you follow us on Spreaker, there's been some who say they don't get the notifications. All right. Now, if that's happening, well, there's not much I can do. I don't have any control over Spreaker. But if Podbean is better at getting the notifications, that will be great to know, since it's going to be the secondary kind of just the alternative live broadcasting platform. It's just going to be a secondary one. Then we definitely want you to make sure you're getting those notifications on those special occasions when I'm going to go live. What I'm trying to do, if I'm out here at the church for an extended period of time, making sure that one of the broadcasts is done via Podbean. All right. So yeah, if Podbean's kind of the secondary one, we want to make sure you're getting good notifications. So follow us. And then whenever I go live, you can just say, hey, got the notification. Even if you didn't listen, you can send me an email saying got the notification. That's newsif@yahoo.com, newsif@yahoo.com. That's where you can send me that information. And that would be very beneficial. But yeah, just follow all three. All three. It's crazy, but I've noticed this on a number of podcast apps. I'll do a search for Theology Central. I'm like, wait a minute. There's like 4 of them. Where are all of these coming from? I don't know how look, our RSS feed is bouncing around in so many different ways and places. And it's like once it goes out, you almost lose control over it, which doesn't bother me, right? I want my stuff everywhere. I don't care where it goes. So the more, the better, because people have a chance of stumbling upon your content. So I'm all for it. But it is an interesting, it's going to be an interesting exercise. It may be an exercise in futility. We talked about this when I did a podcast talking about failure and the Museum of Failure. It may be an effort that turns out that after a while, I'm just like, you know what? We gave it a shot. We failed. But you cannot determine success for an endeavor like this after 1 or 2 or 3 broadcasts. You cannot do that. If you do that, you're just you're just hurting yourself. You got to give it a while, month, 2, 3, 4 months, just week after week after week after week after week, putting in the work, putting forth the effort. And you know what? Let's say I spend 6 months doing live broadcast on Podbean. And at the end of that 6 months, one person says, hey, I found your content and I never heard that theological perspective. You've really helped me. You helped clarify this. You helped me pulled me from this wrong teaching. Well, then guess what? All of that work will be worth it. Now, if I look at it from, wait a minute, I've been doing this and here's my numbers, forget it. It's not worth it. The minute you start thinking that way, which, listen, I'm just going to be honest with you. There's times I do want to think that way. Then that's a bad thing, because it's not about 100 people. It's about one person. And if there's one person who hears us on Podbean in a live broadcast, great. Now you say, what can you do to help? Well, download Podbean app. Whenever you see me live, go in, like the broadcast, follow the broadcast. You can put, comments in the chat when I'm live, whatever, and see if we can just build a small audience there. Now, one of the things we may try to do with the Podbean broadcast is, because the difference with Podbean is you, as a listener, can actually come on live with me. All you have to do is just call in, and using your phone or tablet, you can come in and then you can ask a question, or you could offer your thoughts or perspective, not just in chat, but in audio. What we may do is we may try at the end of each week for our Bible study exercises, doing a live broadcast on Podbean, and then saying, hey, everyone who's been participating in the Bible study exercise this week, join us as we're on Podbean, and we're going to discuss this week's Bible study. And then I can ask questions. People can come in and offer answers, give their thoughts, give their perspective. I don't know if that will be a viable I don't know if that'll be a viable thing to try, but we're going to give it a shot. But we're going to try a lot of different things. I'm looking here. I've got the Podbean app open, and I'm just looking at the different things that are live right now. Okay, yeah, there's there's just so much going on here.
Your marriage is sealed. Yes, down the hill, your marriage is sealed. Congratulations for that. The Lord God will breathe on it in the name of Jesus. Okay, Madam Sino prayed it. So it's a confirmation that God had a prayer. All right, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? 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 This one is for Etisalat. I don't know. Just few persons are using Etisalat here.
It's just I keep going back to it because I'm just like, what is this? It's just so crazy. It's just so crazy. And they just go, and I would just, you have to not just listen for a second. You just got to leave the live tab open on Podbean and just leave it open. Just leave it open. And just, even if you're busy doing other things, just keep walking back to your phone and just looking down and look how long some of those broadcasts have been on the air. Some of those broadcasts that are on right now, they were on when I woke up this morning, I don't know, 7:30, 8 a.m., whatever time it was. They've been on, and it's almost 10 a.m. That means they've been doing live broadcasts for at least for some of those for over 2 hours. And some of those were on the air like at midnight last night, 1 a.m. They were still live on the air. I don't know what they're doing, but it's like, I don't really know how to understand it because they're not really, it's just, yeah, I'm at a loss for words. I can't explain it. You just have to experience it. But when you experience it, then I think you'll probably go, whoa. Now, see, here's what you may have a tendency to do. Okay, that's just some crazy stuff. Okay, I'm going to go do something else. But you need to stop and ask yourself, okay, wait a minute. If this is crazy, if you find this to be problematic, if you think this to be theologically dangerous or a theological heresy, then you have to ask yourself, where are the good churches? Where are the sound churches? Where are the sound biblical teachers? Where are they at? Where are they at? Well, are they all hiding out on some platform that everyone already agrees? They've got to take their stuff and get it there. We've got to go to, we don't hide from the heresy. We join them in the sense of, okay, if your platform allows for anyone to come on, well, then I'm going to be right there and I'm going to be offering the counter perspective. Okay? For example, we're still working with sermon.net. They don't have a statement of faith. Anyone can be on sermon.net. It's some crazy stuff at times. That we're still waiting for them to fix their app. I'm going to have another conversation with them on Monday, but we're trying to get our content there. Why? Because there's a bunch of craziness on there. So why not have the alternative right there available for people? You say, well, they can find that alternative by going, well, no, don't expect them to find you. You've got to find them. We have to go to them. So I'm really committed to this philosophy. So I'll just wrap it up this way. Podbean, download the app. Please download the app. Please download the app. Look for Theology Central. There's 3. Follow all 3. The next time I go live on Podbean, even if you don't listen, just send me an email going, got the notification. It worked perfect. Thank you very, 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 very much. That right there, that's a help. That's a help. Now, and then if you can listen, then that's even more of a help. That's even better. That's wonderful. And we're going to see what we can do. We're going to try to just jump in. Yes, we're going to be the weird kids. We're going to be the strange ones. We're going to be the odd ones out. But you know what? That's okay. That's okay. When I was on Christian radio, I didn't fit in there. When you listen to all the other programs, we were the weird ones. I tried to do something completely different than what everyone else was doing. And, how well did it work? We got kicked off Christian radio. It didn't work out really well. But the good thing is I'm not violating or doing anything that Podbean doesn't allow. So we're just going to come in and say, okay, all around us right now, there's live broadcasts going on. And we're going to say this without saying it. Right now on Podbean, there's all those crazy live broadcasts going on that I don't even know what in the world's going on or what's happening. But at some point this morning, I'm going to go on Podbean and I'm going to go live. Now, without saying it, I'm saying, look, you've got all of those other choices. Listen to us today as we talk about this subject or as we teach this. And it's going to be when people click on us, they're going to know immediately this is different than all the other channels. They're going to immediately know there's something different. Now, I'm not saying it's better. Well, I'm going to say it's better because some of this is just downright theological craziness. So I think it's better theology, but they're going to immediately know it's different. And if that difference is just enough to make them stop and go, let me consider this. Okay, whoa. Okay, he's talking hermeneutics. He's talking Bible study methods. He's talking theology. He's talking doctrine. I never heard these perspectives. Then if that helps one person, then it was worth the time and worth the effort. Because definitely it just adds more complication to me trying to, I got to make sure, because after I'm done with a live broadcast on Podbean, then I have to download it, then I have to upload it to Spreaker. So yeah, it requires more work, more effort, more time. I would prefer to do it differently, but at the same time, why would I just ignore that? Why would I just, you know what? We don't need to be there. No, wait, we need to be there. I see that as if I'm not going to do that, then I just need to just quit and give up. We have to try to get our content everywhere. It's just we have to. And I know it's just easier to find your one platform and put all of your focus on that. I know that's the easiest thing to do. And probably in some ways it's smarter. But I want our stuff everywhere. That's why our stuff is on YouTube. That's why our stuff is on Pandora. That's why our stuff is on Deezer. Audible for audiobooks. We're on Audible. Amazon Music. We're there. That's why we're on SoundCloud. That's why we're everywhere that you would think, why would you have a theology podcast there? Because people here, I know this is going to come crazy to some people. When this generation has any thoughts, questions about doctrine, theology, the Bible, God, heaven, hell, morality, they don't get in their car and drive to a church. They hop on their phone and start doing Google searches. They're either going to find you and what you have to say about the subject, or they're going to find someone else and what they have to say about the subject. If you believe you're teaching true doctrine, true theology, and you believe your church is teaching true doctrine and true theology, then why isn't your church doing everything it can to get its content everywhere so that young generation, that generation that's out there searching, can find it? Because if they can't find what you have to say, they're going to find someone else who's going to tell them their perspective, no matter how theologically bad it is, no matter how horrible it is. No matter how much theological error their perspective contains, that's what they're going to find. They're going to find someone talking about it. They're going to find a website. They're going to find a video. They're going to find a podcast. They're going to find someone. So why not be biblical churches, sound theological churches, sound theological podcast? Yeah, a lot of people love to just build they're like, it's almost like, okay, we found our crowd. We found them. We've got it. Now let's preach to the choir. And I'm like, no, I don't care about preaching to the choir. I want the choir to be a part of it, but I want to try to get the thoughts out to as many people as possible. So that's what we're doing. I need your help in the sense that download the Podbean app. Please go listen to all those other live broadcasts. I really want you to get a sense of what's going on. And then hopefully you'll go, you know what? He's right. We got to do something there. We've got to do something there. Hopefully you will agree, hopefully, and then you will do your best to follow. And then whenever we are live, come in there and let's see what we can do. Let's see if we can build the numbers up so that we can gain some attention. All right. And I've already contacted Podbean. There's something you can do where they'll do some cross promotion. In other words, if you'll promote Podbean like I'm doing right here, trying to get people to download the app, then they will take your podcast and promote it on their different ways in which they promote podcasts. So we're working to see if we can be placed in that category. And one of the things that will help is the more people subscribe to our podcast on Podbean, the more numbers, they see those numbers and then like, okay, that podcast has a little bit of pull, and then they will start. Now, I know we're all over the place, and I know you have your favorite apps, and by all means, use your favorite apps whenever you want, but if you can just help us out, download Spreaker, download Podbean, follow us, and at least when we're live, you have the option to listen in, right? And then you can listen to our podcast on any other platform you want. Does that mean, in other words, you have your favorite podcast app? By all means, listen to us on that app. But download Spreaker and Podbean, and then when we're live, if you want to tune in, you at least have the ability to do so, right? So I just like giving you options, but I think the live broadcast is always more fun to listen to personally. But, the problem is I don't have it scheduled. But that's why you need the app, so that you can get the notifications when we're live. So, all right, there we have it. That's 36 minutes. Took it much longer than I wanted, but I thought it'd be something to talk about this morning so that you can at least know what we're trying to do, and I can kind of promote it. So download Podbean, Podbean, do a search for Theology Central. Follow all three. Follow all three. I know that's crazy, but follow all three. And then whenever we go live, you'll see which one the live broadcast shows up under. And, then you'll have the ability to listen. All right. If you have any questions, thoughts, opinions, I would love to get your thoughts about what's going on Podbean in the live section right now in the religion world. I would love to get your thoughts and perspective. Email me, newsif@yahoo.com. newsif@yahoo.com. And I definitely, when we do go live on Podbean, if you get the notification, please let me know, because I want to know that, because if people are not getting the notification, well, then that tells me what my chances of success are or are not. And so that's very important information. All right, everyone have a great day. I'll be back live on the air somewhere. I don't know which platform yet, somewhere soon. So be ready to listen. All right, everyone have a great day. God bless.